What's shaking, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Shay and it is time for my March TBR. I cannot believe that it is March. In the month of March, I will be participating in Ramadan. At this point in time, I haven't chosen a team, so once I do choose one, I will put the photo up here of which one I chose. So I will be participating in that, and I will also be going back to my TBR jars this month. If you don't know how I do my TBR, I have 5 jars: series jar, new release jar, own jar, indie self-pub jar, and backlist jar, and I pull 2 books out of each one of these jars, and I hold myself accountable for reading one out of those 2 books that I pull out of the jars. So that will be 5 books that I read from these jars. Now I normally read about 10-ish books a month, so that leaves me with 5 other books choices that I can make on my own. And in 2025, we are trying to read our series closer together. We are trying to read our series books. And so that is what we're going to try to do in the month of March. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the jars, starting with the series jar. So I have started some series this year and I have finished some series. So I have cleaned up the jar a little bit prior to this month. Let's shake it up. Okay, Night Angel. So I finished the first trilogy and now I'm on the continuation book, which only has 1 book out in this series. I liked the first series. It kind of went downhill for me. I loved book 1. I gave that one 5 stars and then it kind of just tinkled down, but I'm looking forward to starting this new trilogy in this world. All right. And let's get a good one. 2. This is Molly the Maid. So I read the first book in the series 2 years ago, something like that, and I just never continued on. This is a cozy mystery kind of vibe with an autistic main character. I really enjoyed the first book and I'm looking forward to continuing on. This series has 3 books in it. Now let's move to new releases jar. This jar holds every book that has been released in 2025 so far that I am interested in reading. So January, February, and March's new releases are in this jar. Shake it up. 1. All right. When the Moon Hits Your Eye. This is by John Scalzi, and this is his new release, comes out in March. It is about the moon made of cheese, and he has this humor that works for me. I read several of his books last year, and then I read Old Men's War, I believe, in 2023. Really have been enjoying John Scalzi. Let's draw another one. 2. Okay, this is another March release. This is To Steal from Thieves. This is the new series by M.K. Lobb. I read her first duology, which Disciples of Chaos, and so I liked that one enough to where I wanted to check out whatever she did next. This is a YA series start, and I'm not quite sure exactly what it's about, but it's kind of a fantasy romance, so we'll get into that in the month of March. Moving into a heftier jar, that's going to be my own books. I did shuffle these prior to the start of the video, but shuffle them some more. 1. Okay. This is the Dragonbone chair. Recently acquired this from my Broken Binding subscription. Beautiful editions that I own, but it's a thick, chunky boy, so it's a little bit intimidating. 2. This is The Gods Below. This is by Andrea Stewart, and I also own a special edition of this book from Fairy Loot. So 2 special edition books that are both starts of series. Now, I haven't heard the best things about The Gods Below, and I read the first book of her first trilogy, and I can't remember it right now. It's popping out of my brain, and it was just okay, but I didn't feel any need to continue on with that series, so definitely interesting pick, but I'm looking forward to trying something new from her. Alright, our jars are getting bigger and more filled. This is my indie self-pub jar. and we're gonna go ahead and dive in because we love self indie and indie pub on this channel. Here we go. One. Okay. This is The Serpent's Quest. I believe that this is a book that is in SPIFBO 10 this year, which the competition is getting ready to wrap up sometime soon. I believe The Serpent's Quest was a semi-finalist. I'm not sure about that, but looking forward to reading that. And number 2 here. This is Quaint Creatures. Off the top of my head, I don't know where this book came from. However, most of the books that are in these jars either came from SPIFBO or people have recommended them personally to me. Then we have my giant backlist jar. This jar holds every single book I'm interested in reading that I don't own and was published 2024 and previously. So here we go. It's got a lot of books in it. I always get scared going into this jar because you never know what you're gonna get. One. Okay. This is The Island, and I think that this is by Adrian McKenty. I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but it's by the same one that wrote The Chain. So a good mystery thriller. And this is going to be 2. Okay. Another mystery thriller in The Midnight Feast. So that's by Lucy Foley, if I'm not mistaken. So really great picks out of the backlist jar. I like doing this because it gives me some different genres to play with. Okay, so that's what the jars got me, and what else am I going to read in the month? I can tell you. There's only one book besides what's in the jars that at this moment in time I have a definitive plan to read, and that is An Echo of Things to Come. I read the first book, The Shadow of What Was Lost, in December, gave it 5 stars, absolutely loved it, and it is just the month to fit this chunker in. I cannot wait to dive into this behemoth of a book. I'm trying to read my series closer together and my sequels closer together so I can enjoy them more. With that being said, I will probably read the rest of the month fill them with either owned books or continuations of series, which will hit my goals, but this for sure will be getting read in March. Hold me to it. I'm gonna do it. So that is it. Are you guys participating in Ramadan? What team did you choose? And let me know what you guys will be reading in the month of March in the comments down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one.